You're 22 years old, 6 months into your first real job, when you notice something strange. Your work is done by noon. Not on a slow day, every day. 8 hours of pay for 2, maybe 3 hours of actual work. Most people would relax and enjoy the extra time. It starts small, almost by accident. Your manager hands you a project with a 2-week deadline, the kind of assignment that's supposed to fill your calendar. You finish it in 4 hours. You sit there for the rest of the day, refreshing your inbox, waiting for a message that never comes because nobody is actually watching what you do, only whether it gets done. You start timing yourself out of curiosity more than anything. Real, hands-on work, 2 hours some days, 3 on a busy one. The other 5 hours, you are being paid to exist quietly inside a laptop that nobody is checking. You do open a retirement account because HR tells you to, and you put in just enough to get the company match. A few $100s a month, nothing you'd notice missing. That's the entire extent of your financial ambition for now. You don't mention any of it to anyone, not your co-workers, not your family. You just start doing the math in your head. 5 extra hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and you can't stop doing it. You don't quit, and you don't tell your company. You update your resume instead, keep the job title vague enough to sound senior without inviting hard questions, and start applying quietly in the evenings, after your first job has already logged off for the day. Same field, fully remote, ideally a different time zone so the meetings don't collide. 3 weeks later, you're signing a second offer letter. $62,000 from the first job, $58,000 from the second. 2 weeks after that, both paychecks land on the same Friday. $2,385 from job 1, $2,231 from job 2. $4,616 in one day, more than double what you were making 3 weeks earlier. You take $400 of it and move it into a Roth IRA just to see what happens. It's not a plan yet, barely a habit, but it's the first time in your life you've had money left over after a paycheck instead of before one. 2 calendars now. 2 separate inboxes, 2 separate Slack workspaces, 2 separate versions of your own name in 2 separate company directories. One person, quietly split in half, and neither half knows the other exists. By the third job, 1 laptop isn't enough anymore. You buy a second monitor, then a third, then a fourth machine, until your spare bedroom looks less like a home office and more like a trading floor. 4 screens, 4 separate logins, 4 different company Slacks pinging at slightly different times so you can tell them apart without looking. 4 salaries now: $62,000, $58,000, $65,000, $50,000. $235,000 a year split into 4 direct deposits. Just over $9,000 hitting your account every other Friday. You start maxing out one 401k for the match, then open a taxable brokerage account on the side and set it to auto-invest $1,000 every paycheck into a handful of index funds. You don't check it daily, you don't day trade, you just let it run in the background, the same way the fourth job runs in the background. You learn to read a meeting invite the way a poker player reads a hand. Which ones genuinely need you on camera? Which ones you can join muted with a still photo standing in for your face? Which ones you can quietly skip because nobody will ever circle back to ask why? You are, technically, 4 different employees now. None of the 4 have ever met each other, and none of them ever will. 4 jobs becomes 6, 6 becomes 8. At 8 jobs, the combined paychecks come out to roughly $17,000 every 2 weeks. At some point, even you can't keep up with 8 sets of deadlines running in parallel, so you do something almost nobody in your position ever considers. You hire help. Quietly, on your own dime, you bring on a couple of contractors, sharp, capable people you vet yourself, paying them roughly $3,000 combined every 2 weeks to handle the more repetitive parts of 2 of your jobs. The extra time they free up turns into extra conviction. You bump your own auto-invest up to $4,000 a paycheck, then 5, spread across 2 retirement accounts and the brokerage. You start looking at a small rental property, not because you need the headache, but because it's somewhere to put money that keeps arriving faster than you can spend it. Somewhere around here, your net worth crosses $100,000 for the first time. Then it crosses it again. Your employers think they're paying $120-something for 1 job apiece. In reality, you've quietly built a small, invisible company, and you're the only person who knows you're the CEO of it. The math stops feeling real at 10 jobs. Each position pays somewhere between $45,000 and $70,000 a year. Solid, unremarkable salaries on their own. Stacked 10 deep, that's $587,000 a year, $22,570, deposited every other Friday from 10 different employers who have never heard of each other. And now you're not investing what's left over. You're investing first and living off whatever's left. $8,000 a paycheck into index funds. $2,000 more into the rental property's mortgage. A separate account you don't touch, growing on its own compound interest that you've started half-jokingly calling the number. The number is $7.3 million. You picked it years ago as a nothing more to prove, nothing left to risk kind of figure, and now you can see it coming, faster every year, the way a plane's landing gear drops before you've even spotted the runway. You're 26. Your college friends are refreshing their bank app, hoping a $2,200 paycheck clears before rent is due. Yours clears with room to spare, 10 times over, twice a month, like clockwork, and most of it never even touches your checking account before it's already invested. It almost falls apart once. Two of your companies, in the same industry without you ever realizing how close they sat to each other, end up on the same joint vendor call. A meeting neither side saw coming, scheduled by someone 3 levels removed from you at each company. You watch your own name appear twice in the participant list, under 2 different job titles, in 2 different browser tabs open side by side on your desk. For a second, your hands go genuinely cold. You mute both microphones instantly, kill one connection outright, and rejoin the second 3 minutes late with a quiet apology about your internet cutting out. Nobody on the call notices a thing. But for the rest of that week, you triple-check every single calendar invite before you accept it, cross-referencing company names, industries, even the meeting organizer's email domain, and you start asking yourself, for the first time in years, what actually happens the day one of them finds out. You never do get caught. Not once, not really. A handful of close calls, but never a real one. The morning your combined accounts cross $7.3 million, you don't tell anyone. You don't quit that day either. You wind the jobs down quietly over the next 18 months, one resignation letter at a time, so nothing ever looks sudden. By 40, you're fully retired, sitting on more money than most people see across an entire working lifetime. Your former co-workers, the ones who never knew there were 9 other yous, still think you left because you wanted to try something new. They ask what you're up to now. You tell them you're taking some time off. You don't mention the 18 years of paychecks landing from companies that never knew each other existed, or the number you hit right on schedule. You just say you're doing fine. You are, in fact, doing better than fine. You just got there quietly, and you're the only one who knows how.